Good evening, Professor Mars, mentors, our fellow cyber interns. My name is Dmitry Sinelnikov, and I'm the cyber threat analyst from Team 1, Cyber Sales. Our goal for this week is to explore the protect function from our cybersecurity framework. To do so, we wrote a briefing memo for our top stakeholders, stating our controls to protect the company from insider threats. Before I discuss our protection measures and policies, I would like to point out the key things we did over the last few weeks, so everyone can get a better understanding of how we implement our protection strategy. Within the last few weeks, we created our own set of standards for policies and procedures for identifying insider threats, which, if you remember, was based on our acronym SEALS, which means Secure, Encrypt, Analyze, and Logistics. However, what are policies and procedures for if they are not efficient and do not protect from insider threats? So we came up with ways to test our program for efficiency, to ensure that our program works and is practical in terms of cost. For instance, we decided that it was appropriate to hire an expert within the cybersecurity field to check the efficacy of our program. Then we identified and assessed the key asset, that being the e-trading system, and the inherent risk of GNB based on our roles: compliance analyst, IT risk, cyber threat analyst, information security officer, and behavioral analyst. Our risk assessment was based on a low, medium, and high rating scale, and these categories were used to determine the probability of a threat occurring within the company. We assigned a rating to the impact based on how each incident would affect the company. Next, we calculated the inherent risk by multiplying the probability and impact. This is then lowered in the residual risk after we put controls in place to prevent or at least mitigate the risk. Some examples of controls we put in place include patch management for computer software, integrity checks on the databases, upgrading hardware and updating IDS systems inside the perimeter. We also implemented encryption, network separation, systematic monitoring for malicious activity in the networks through programs such as the Risk Fabric from Cisco. For the human factor risk type and access controls, we have DLPs in place, a policy to conduct a risk assessment every 2 years. In order to make sure that our controls were implemented, we created policies and procedures for protecting GNB. These include, first of all, screening of future employees through background checks, limiting access to the most of the users, making sure they have the least necessary amount of privileges. It also includes installing new surveillance equipment throughout the company, implementing awareness and training program for all employees by informing employees about signs of insider threats, encrypting critical systems and highly sensitive data in the company. To sum up this video, the protection system we came up with is based on a few things. First of all, it's based on the efficacy of our program. Also based on a deep analysis of the risks within the company, on placing controls for these risks, and of course on the policies and procedures based on these risks. This wraps up the end of our video. If there are questions or concerns, please feel free to email us at johnjcybersales@gmail.com or reach us on iq4.com platform. Thank you for watching our video.